Well, this lady next to me needs a little introduction. After more than 20 years on Home and Away, Lynne McGranger has well and truly earned her iconic TV status. But most recently, it was her fancy footwork that captivated audiences, grooving her way into the grand final of Dancing with the Stars. Despite narrowly missing out on the title, Lynne shows no sign of slowing down. With a career that spans more than 3 decades, Lynne McGranger is TV royalty. In the early 80s, Lynne took centre stage performing in theatre productions. By the 90s, the actress had relocated to Summer Bay, playing Irene Roberts on Home and Away.
Bayside Diner. Oh, g'day, Pip.
Fast forward 22 years, and Lynne's become the longest-serving female cast member.
You are going to tell me what the hell you're doing back here. Oh, you're not getting a bite of this. You better throw it in the bin, love. Oh, Irene. All right.
Earlier this year, the 61-year-old swapped the diner for a stint on the dance floor. Although narrowly missing out on the Dancing with the Stars mirror ball, David Ronan and Lynne has proven that no challenge is too ambitious for this Aussie icon.
How about that? The right side of this desk is like dancing royalty, isn't it?
It is.
Did you expect you would ever get this far in Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, love, not in a million years. No, all I wanted was not to be voted out first. As I'm sure you've been on it,
yeah,
you know how you feel. You know, it's just terrifying to think that you might be. But I just loved it, and of course I had the master, the beautiful Carmelo. I'm sure he's watching. Hello, darling. And we just had the best time. And thank you for the fancy footwork mentioned, but nah.
Lynne, are you keeping in touch with any of the other people from the show?
Oh, look, I'm sure Carmelo and I will be friends till the day we die. He's sort of like my son, my brother, my best friend. I'm in touch with David, of course, with Ty and Matt Cooper, and they were just lovely. We were like a big, happy family. It was an amazing time.
Then you slimmed down and you toned up quite a lot during the show. How are you feeling now?
I feel fabulous. I absolutely feel fabulous. Having said that, I went for a power walk this morning and the hip was a bit dicky, but no, really it was. I came home going, ow. But I just think it's the best way to get fit. Yep. It's the most fun. It's bloody hard. It's so hard. And to do, 3 months of that full on is extraordinary. But it was great, and it makes you. It has a great psychological effect on you too. You feel. You feel good about yourself, and, suddenly you're getting into size 10s. You know all about that, Chris.
Looking at some of that vision, though, from 20 years ago, you look exactly the same as you did 20 years ago. And that's nothing to do with the dancing. That's just great life.
That's lovely. Well, maybe it's the fresh air out in the hills. I don't know. But I love the way they always show the smoking Irene. It's like, oh, no,
it doesn't happen nowadays, does it?
No.
I'm amazed that you can get thrown around the dance floor and hurt your hip walking. That's what gets me. Now, you actually have an overactive thyroid, which is apparently so. Now, yes. How's that affected your weight? Is it harder for you to put weight on?
Look, it's weird. An overactive thyroid, and mine is very overactive, actually makes you quite jittery and anxious and a bit shaky. Like when I started on television, I always used to say I was like Katharine Hepburn without the acting talent. I was very, very, very shaky. And in about the last 10 years, they've addressed it. And what the medication does is it slows down your metabolism, so I'm no longer anxious and shaky, but it actually inhibits weight loss. So, of course, all women love it when the doctor says, I've got to put you on medication, but it might make you fat. And you go, fabulous. Right. But I think what's happened with dancing is that normally, and I'm sure Kylie Gillies would attest to this, the weight just drops off you, but then you can, if you're unlucky, you might end up putting it on because you drop it so quickly.
Yeah.
But because I lost it slowly, fingers crossed, it stays off.
That's great.
So,
that's great.
But thyroid conditions are quite endemic. A lot of women have them and a lot of men have them too. And the thyroid, not to bore everyone to death, but the thyroid governs so much of your body, you know, so many different things.
Let's talk about Home and Away, because you've played Irene for 20 years. How do you keep work fresh every day, going in there?
Look, I think it's because Irene lives a life. I think I'm not going in there doing the same thing all the time. Like Lynne lives a life, she lives a life. So things happen to her and then she moves on, and things happen to her and she moves on. And I think that's the nature of soap, and that's why people tune in, because they want to know what happens next.
You're the longest-serving female on the show. Ray Maher is the longest-serving male. Do you think you'll take over his title?
Over his flaming dead body. Over his flaming dead body. No, I think they'll be carrying Ray out in a box and they'll be carrying me out in a box.
Oh, you're certainly
Actually, we've done a little bit of digging, and we've come across your first ever episode of Home and Away. Let's take a look at this, see if you remember.
Good day. Remember me?
Irene, hi. I heard you were coming up.
I can't find a damn hospital. I've been driving around in circles for 15 minutes.
Well, it's pretty easy to miss the turn off in the dark.
Oh, my daughter on a deathbed and I can't even find the blasted place. I don't know why they didn't shoot me years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be smoking in here.
Hey, Irene, just calm down. Finn's going to be okay.
Yeah, well, I believe that when I see it with my own eyes.
Is it weird that I remember that? I do remember watching that.
See, you look better now.
Oh, bless
20 years later.
Oh, darling, that'll be the drugs. They've kicked in. I'm joking. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Look, you can tell there how kind of hysterical I was, even though I had to play that. I was like that for 6 months on the show.
Was it a real cigarette?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think it was.
Terrible.
Speaking of dramatic, we actually have another quite dramatic scene from that show. Let's take a look at this one.
Look, I bet everyone around here is too gutless to say anything. Well, I'm not scared, so I'll say it for him. If Finn ends up not the full quid, mate, you're going to have to take the blame. I'll be gunning for you, and don't think I won't. You're going to wish you'd never been born.
That is the tough-talking Irene we really know and remember.
And the gorgeous Les Hill, who looks about 13 there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's still getting great roles too, Les. He's still out and about.
A lovely man and a Swans ambassador, yes.
You've seen so many young poppets come and go on that show, haven't you?
I
so
have.
many big names.
Well, funny you should say that, Sammy. About 2 weeks ago, Chris Hemsworth popped by.
The set?
Yeah, just came by. And in fact, I don't think I'm giving away too much. He sat in the background of a scene as an extra.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
When will that be on air?
Probably in about 5 months' time. I'd actually left the building at that time, so I found out about it.
That is great insider information.
Divine.
Lynne McGranger, thank you very much. Of course, Lynne will be sticking around to co-host the rest of the show.
Thank you, love.
And she'll also be chatting to you live on our Facebook page just after 3 o'clock when the show finishes. Very exciting stuff, Home and Away fans. Some insider knowledge too. Great stuff, Lynne. Have a great show.